Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, March 20th, 2017, the big news, the passing of David Rockefeller at age 101. He was 84 days shy of his 102nd birthday. If you missed this video, I'm going to link it below. What we're going to cover today is the death of his ancestor, John D. Rockefeller, who founded Standard Oil, beginning the powerful industrial family that is the Rockefellers. Also, I just want to point out it's about 11:30 out here on the West Coast. I've been up since about 6 this morning. This video has been at 1,211 views since 6 a.m., so apparently no one's watched it since then. But what I've noticed is the likes have climbed by about 50 since then, the comments have climbed by about 100, even the thumbs down have commented. In other words, YouTube is suppressing this video just like they suppress all my videos. There's a reason that my view stats have not changed since I had 5,000 subscribers. I now have nearly 42,000 subscribers, and my views are the same as when I had 5,000. It's because YouTube wants this channel squashed. They want this information suppressed. I am the most censored channel on YouTube because I'm putting out the most worthwhile information. Information the powers that shouldn't be don't want the masses to have. And for anyone who follows my work, compare it with the others. You know, I've taken the time to watch 5 or 6 other popular channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I've taken the time to watch 5 or 6 other videos on John D. Rockefeller, and out of that hour I've spent listening, I haven't heard a single thing worth knowing. Most of these YouTube channels are pretenders. They don't know much about anything. They're wasting people's time. They just want your views so that they can make some ad dollars off of you. Meanwhile, on my channel, nothing but real truth, real knowledge you can learn and apply to everyday life, and not a single ad you have to watch. You know, don't waste your time with these pretenders like Dabu7. That guy doesn't know anything about anything, just wasting everybody's time. He's just one of many. Mark Dice, all these people are phony pretenders. Now let's jump into John D. Rockefeller. I actually covered this man's death a little bit last year because he died on May 23rd. And as I've been showing for going on nearly 2 years, they keep coding the date May 23rd next to Donald Trump. Well, lo and behold, one of the most powerful men in the history of this nation died on May 23rd. And we're going to talk about what's so interesting about his death. He died 47 days before his 98th birthday. He died at age 97. We're going to talk about the significance of dying on May 23rd, 47 days from the birthday. It has a lot to do with the Freemason compass and square. We'll get there. Real quick, him passing at age 97, the word death has gematria of 97. 97 is the 25th prime number. The word death also has gematria of 25. And these numbers 97 and 25 are highly connected to Donald Trump. I talked about yesterday in the David Rockefeller death video, which is linked in the description, about the possible connections to Trump being the president. So he was born July 8th, 1839, on a date with 36 numerology, fitting for what he would go on to become, an oil man. The word oil has gematria of 36. So does the name Chase. David Rockefeller, the head of Chase Manhattan, the bank. He was also born on a date with 54 numerology. Standard Oil has gematria of 54. The word standard alone has gematria of 54. Born on a fitting date for the company he ran. The date of his passing, May 23rd, 1937, date with 84 numerology. Very special number to this nation's history, and now very relevant to the death of David Rockefeller, who died March 20th, 2017, 84 days before what would have been his 102nd birthday. And again, United States of America, the nation that these men are from, has gematria of 84 and 102. David Rockefeller dead at 84 days before his 102nd birthday on the equinox 84, like Masonry, like Zionism, like Jesuit. Again, like United States of America. Do you think it's any coincidence that in the ritualistic death of David Rockefeller it has this 84 parallel to John D. Rockefeller? I sure hope not. The day John D. Rockefeller died was also a date with 65 numerology from March 20th to May 23rd. I'll just show you this real quick. On the Gematrinator, we can do date durations. March 20th, 2017 to May 23rd, which will be the anniversary of John D. Rockefeller's passing. That's a full span of 65 days. You see that? And the date John D. Rockefeller passed was a date with 65 numerology. One of those numbers that has 11 numerology. 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 the master number. Last night we were talking about David Rockefeller and the foreshadowing of the collapse of the World Trade Centers, which were his project on the 11th day and the 11th state, the buildings that look like massive 11s. Knights Templar in Gematria sums to 65, the Masonic order. His full name, John Davison Rockefeller, also shares the gematria of 119, like his ancestor's company, Chase Manhattan Corporation, founded by David Rockefeller, who was the mastermind of September 11th, 11/9. Very special numbers. Remember, all seeing eye equals 119. Star of David, 119. This is a Jewish Zionist family. That's a Jewish Zionist symbol. Master Plan 119, Vatican 119, special number. The name Donald in Jewish gematria is 119, announced as the 45th president on 11/9, November 9th was Trump, the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall 45. His name, John Davison Rockefeller, has a lot of powerful gematria. We talk about 106, number of prophecy, 241, which is the 58th prime number, 241 is the 53rd prime number related to religion, having a parallel to 33. John Davison Rockefeller even has the 353 coding, very special number to the Catholic Church and Jesuits. John D. Rockefeller, which he's commonly called, is what has the gematria of 271, which is the 58th prime number. Freemasonry 58, Secret Society 58, Annuit Coeptus 58. Remember, this language of gematria, special language, it's about creating words that have the most meaningful numbers behind them. Each letter only has certain numbers behind it. Each word only has certain numbers behind it. So John D. Rockefeller, he died 46 days before what would have been his 98th birthday, the word sacrifice 46, or a span of 47 days. Notice also that's 6 weeks and 5 days, kind of like the 65. 47 is so fitting because the name John is 47, Authorities 47, Mafia is 47, Chase Manhattan 47. Very special number to Freemasonry and the compass and square. The date he passed, May 23rd, can be written 23/5, right? 23/5. I want to remind you on the Freemason compass and square, it's set at 47 degrees, meaning each leg is at 23.5 degrees. Just like the tropics at 23.5 north, 23.5 south, 47 degrees apart. The tropics used to measure time. Time equals 47 in gematria. Bring us back to the calculator. Ordinal gematria, time 47. Everything comes back to time. The Freemason symbol is the compass and square. Compass and square equals 93. They tell us the sun is 93 million miles away. To the occult, to the Freemasons, Saturn is the keeper of time. Saturn equals 93. Everything about Zionist Israel established in 47 is connected to 93. All of these numbers, ritualistic, having much meaning. Think about John D. Rockefeller being dead 47 days before his birthday on 23/5. That's kind of like 23.5, the degree of the tropic. You see how this comes together? It's all mathematics. 523 for May 23rd is also the 99th prime number. Think about Chase in 99. David Rockefeller, Chase Manhattan. The number 13 also has gematria of 99. The Bavarian Illuminati, established May 1st, 1776, a date with 99 numerology, established by 13 families. Think about the Rockefellers, the Bavarian Illuminati, money, the symbolism of 13 on the US dollar bill. Not a coincidence. John D. Rockefeller, the name. One last point about his name, also has gematria of 80. He died in 1937. David Rockefeller died in 2017, 80 years later. You know? And since David died in March and his ancestor in May, it's technically 79 years and 10 months about. But, 80 years later, you understand. With regards to 79 and change, let's not forget that murder in spring equals 79, and David Rockefeller died on the 79th day of the year, March 20th, first day of spring. David Rockefeller, last surviving grandchild of oil baron John D. Rockefeller. So please check out the video I put out yesterday. There's a whole lot more information. But again, the more you research, the more you see the connections, the rituals, what's going on. Also, something I want to make sure people know. Two things I overlooked in the long video yesterday. Got to make sure you catch this. I put out a video after to make sure people caught it, but I want to make sure you have this. This piece is important. From David Rockefeller's last birthday where he turned 101, June 12th, 2016, to his death yesterday was a span of 282 days. The name David Rockefeller has gematria of 282, And also, we talked about this magazine cover, David Rockefeller with his wristwatch with the hands on the 9 and 11. This magazine was April 3rd, 1967, the 93rd day of the year after they did the groundbreaking ceremony for the World Trade Centers, a year before 1968 when they would start the physical construction of the towers. April 3rd, 93rd day of the year, April 3rd, 1967 was a date with 93 numerology, 93 the number for time, the sun's 93 million miles away, Saturn 93. Look at the name David Rockefeller in reverse reduced. 93. And here's his 93 magazine cover. 93rd day of the year, 93 numerology. Before the World Trade Centers that would be bombed in 93 on February 26th. Remember when you write out 226, it sums to 93. Just goes to show how long all these plans are in motion for. 1967. I wouldn't even be born until 16 years, 3 months, and 18 days after this magazine cover. They already had everything planned out for my lifetime before I was even here. And that goes for everyone else. This is why we who are awake need to wake up the sleeping masses around us and put an end to this. This agenda we're living out was planned way before any of us were around. It's not beneficial to any of us. It's only beneficial to these sick tyrants that put profit over people. And because of the control that these sick tyrants have over the world, they've instilled these values in the masses through the TV. How many people are living for money before all the people in their life? Friends, family, acquaintances. These people from being in power, from running the show for as long as they have, they've created a sick mentality in the masses. That's why those of us awake, we got to put it to an end, truth seeker. So there it is, the John D. Rockefeller piece. May 23rd, they keep foreshadowing this date. Bonnie and Clyde in history were murdered on May 23rd. Remember, it was Bonnie and Clyde that had the mistake announcing the wrong winner. I showed how that was all a tribute to Donald Trump, who they keep quoting May 23rd next to. Last night, David Rockefeller had a lot of parallels with Trump. Now we see, again, John D. Rockefeller, dead on May 23rd. Not an arbitrary date. And before we go, I have one last question about May 23rd myself that I should have checked. Remember, there's always more. I just want to see what day of the year May 23rd is. Oh, I sure remember that from last year. 143rd day and 144th in leap years, leaving 222 days remaining until the end of the year. All right, truth seeker. Until next time.